So yesterday's press conference was about opportunity and growth in the state of Connecticut. Today really is about empowerment and how we can empower people to be successful. We do this by looking at the expanded access to child care and temporary assistance, workforce training, and purchases of new homes, trying to get folks who need some help the help they need. So let's talk about TANF, the Temporary Family Assistance Payment. What we do is when someone gets a job and they reach a certain income level, they automatically get kicked off of state assistance. That is not something that encourages someone to get a job, particularly when you look at the gross and then they're off the state assistance, but their net is less than the TANF. So what you need to do is you got to come some sort of sliding scale for about a year to allow people on some sort of sliding scale still get the help they need so they could go to work, get the help they need, and then slowly weed them off of TANF. That's one thing we want to look at. The second thing is for child care subsidies, we do 50% of the state's median income. We're thinking that that might be a little bit low. We should probably go to 75%. Once again, child care is expensive. It reduces the possibility of people going to work. So by raising that level to 75%, we're encouraging people to say, there's some help, let's get to work, stay in the workforce, let's move forward. I think those two things are key to getting certain population that gets help, the needed help, to get a little more help and persuaded to get into the job market. Now I want to talk about the enhanced work training force, which is the second part, and Senator Martin, I believe, is going to be doing this one. Or Senator Ferdinand, or both. Both.
Good morning. Thank you, Senator Fasano. So I've been involved with the Chamber of Commerce in the city of Bristol for quite a long time, and I've always heard from the board and more particularly with the manufacturing community in that district. And I've heard and read about the lack of workforce skills or the individuals to replace the aging population that we have ahead of us. So, we've heard statistics of, gee, we could put 11,000 to 13,000 people to work immediately if they were trained, they had the skill base. And going forward, 27,000, and that's just simply in the manufacturing sector. But in addition to that, we also have other business sectors, including the healthcare industry, the finance industry, the construction industry. Manufacturing has done a great job of connecting with their own communities and letting the educators know that, listen, we need to develop apprenticeship programs, and they've done a great job. And there's various apprenticeship programs throughout the state, and you've read in a recent report by the Manufacturing Committee that was charged back in 2017 put all of us, let's find out what all those programs are doing. And they came back and gave some recommendations that we received in January. And there's some great positive stuff, and the Department of Labor is totally involved. And they recently, the Department of Labor recently testified last week or the week before in front of the Commerce Committee that, listen, this is what they put together regarding the programs for the apprenticeship programs with the manufacturing sector is a transferable model. So the Senate Bill 685 looks to build on that and to expand the apprenticeship program from the manufacturing sector, but to include the healthcare industry, the construction industry, as well as the business community. So what I'd like to make sure that we do include in this is there's a good connection with the educating department or the educators, because I felt that the part of what's good about the model that we have currently with the manufacturers is the fact that they're connecting with the high schools. What I'd like to accomplish with this bill more specifically is making sure that your educators are addressing the middle school as well as the high schools, the technical schools, etc. So, in short, it's basically taking the model that we have in the manufacturing sector currently and expanding it to other business models, the other business sectors. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you for coming. I'm going to talk a little bit about Senate Bill 356, which is an act requiring study of a German apprenticeship training program and actually the Swiss model. You heard the senator talk about the progress that we've been making in manufacturing. This particular bill would like to talk about pursuing alternative apprenticeship models that encourage growth not only in the manufacturing pipeline, but in other industries throughout the state and really expand it. We need to get serious about this and show students and businesses that we are providing an alternative educational path, and apprenticeship programs do provide that. The German and the Swiss model combine both education and on-the-job training to move this employee forward from a green recruit to a seasoned employee over a multi-year period. And then it works out for the employers over there that they have a trained employee and someone that they can either choose to bring into their workforce that is light years ahead of where green recruits would be otherwise. So this bill would take a closer look at the German apprenticeship program and the Swiss vocational and professional training system. Both have proven very successful. We need to show that the state is committed. The state of Connecticut, as I said, is doing a great job of the manufacturing programs, such as short-term programs like Eastern Workforce Investment Board. Up in my neck of the woods has helped large manufacturers and small alike. Other states like South Carolina, Virginia have opened up to other industries, including nursing, pharmacy, and IT programs. But we need to get a closer awareness, a more direct awareness from the schools and get the parents. And I'll be talking in higher education later this afternoon about schools that get rated specifically for their work in moving students into higher education. And there's no factor to rate for apprenticeship programs. And so we want to have the Higher Education Committee consider adding that so it gives it a little bit more weight as we move into what we believe is the next opportunity to grow our great workforce, keep our students here, keep our young people here, keep people that want to change careers here in the state of Connecticut and grow our economy. So thank you very much for your time. Senator?
Thank you. Good morning, and good to see everybody today. I'm here to talk about Senate Bill 275. Because here in Hartford, we like to fashion ourselves as the insurance capital of the world. And certainly 2 years ago, when I moved into the position of chairman on insurance, I held an informational forum where we reached out to the insurance industry to see what the state could do for one of our flagship industries. What came out of that forum was a clear request that they could use more workforce development, because there are good paying jobs in insurance, jobs that can pay a mortgage, educate your kids, actually make our communities better, jobs and wages that are much more than minimum, and that the insurance industry was saying very clearly that these jobs are available. And with an aging workforce, they're going to become more available. But the problem is we don't have enough workforce to fill these positions. So this bill was first put forward 2 years ago, and then, as well as last year, it passed both chambers and was signed by then Governor Malloy. And we're back at it again to once again put this back before the General Assembly, because we believe that good paying jobs in the insurance industry are something that have merit, and I think could really help develop our state and to keep it as the insurance capital of the world. Thank you.
And then just two more quick bills. First, Senate Bill 242. What that bill does, it would allow LLCs to take tax credits for apprenticeship programs. Right now, C corporations are the only ones who allow it. Now, this bill passed the House and the Senate, was vetoed by Governor Malloy. As you know, no overrides of any vetoes were performed, particularly in the Senate. There were no votes by the Democrats, so it kind of failed. But I think in this building, they believe that the tax credits should be taken not only by C corporations, but also by LLCs. That seems to be what the policy is. So we're hopefully will see that successfully make its way through the legislature again this year. And for the final bill, Senate Bill 602, I'll have Senator Henry Martin come up and talk about that.
Thank you, Senator Fasano. So you may or may not know that I'm a real estate broker, and not a week goes by that I don't hear that I'm leaving the state, I'm out of here. And that's been going on since probably 2008. The data that we have, and the facts are pretty clear, since 2012 supports the fact that more people are migrating out of Connecticut than into Connecticut. And with the past recurring annual deficits, can you really blame them? So it's imperative that we send a clear message out to the people of Connecticut that we're going to get our fiscal house in order. And I believe that began last session. We passed a bipartisan budget that was passed that made structural changes that included the spending cap, the bonding cap, and the volatility cap. It also included eliminating taxes on Social Security and pensions on our elderly. So SB 602, it's an act establishing a credit toward personal income tax for first-time homebuyers. It's a special savings account created with a credit of up to $2,000 against personal income tax that helps nutmeggers save for a first home. It's another step forward in encouraging young families to stay in the state after completing their education. 9 other states have done this. There are currently 2 states that are pursuing the enactment of this, and Connecticut would be the 3rd. Simply, 602 would encourage home ownership and help people, young adults in particular, build their future here in Connecticut. Thank you.